At Designer Shoe Warehouse, we believe that shoes are an important part of, well, everything.
From first steps to first dates, from all-nighters to all-time personal bests.
From building pillow forts to building a life.
For all the big and small moments that make up your whole world, DSW is there. And we've got just the shoes. Find a shoe for every you from brands you love at brag-worthy prices at your DSW store or DSW.com.
Hey, don't miss the play. Flurry Sports will save your day. Cracking jokes with sports insight. Zach and Jake, they get it right. Fuck yeah.
Hello, welcome back to the Flurry Sports Podcast. And tonight we got a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. We're recording before these games, so 14 games in the books. Maybe we'll take a little look at our draft from last week.
Losers.
Yeah, we're picking the teams who would last the longest without a loss. And one was God's team, and Jake and I both texted in the middle of that game. We're like, uh-oh. The Chicago Bears, God's team is, boy, they could be a wagon. And then as the Chicago Bears do, you know what? Maybe God's not real because they collapsed, an all-time collapse. And then they did it again. So we may look at that quickly, but we got two Monday Night Football games, really interesting matchups. I think Jake and I will communicate what everybody else is thinking about week 2, and that is a lot happened. We learned nothing, and there was bad football everywhere. And we feel like Monday Night Football, we're about to get the same thing, just condensed into 2 games. So I think they're must watch, which is why we're recording early. And then you guys, if you're watching live, can go check out the games. Isn't that right, Jake?
That's right, dude. Isn't it the truth where it's like week 1 is all about clarity? Like we left week 1 and we're like, I could tell you who's about to win the Super Bowl. Week 2 got here, I got nothing. Like we're gonna sift through it is what I wanted to say. We're gonna sift through it, you know. But tonight, okay, Texans, Bucks, which we had to relook up because what a weird matchup for week 2.
Super weird.
2 teams who, listen, they're like they will both be playoff contenders once this game is over, and they will both be not playoff locks when this game is over.
Yep.
And
their divisions are weird. Probably the 2 weirdest divisions in football.
I 100% agree. The South can't get it together. It's been the narrative for years.
Across the board, sports and not sports. Yeah.
That's right. And then on the other side tonight, we're going to learn. We've already proclaimed this is the Chargers division, dude. Stamped.
Yep. Chiefs are done. Handed the reins over to the Chargers because they won not in America. Chargers still don't have a win in America this season.
No.
But there's another team lurking, headed by Pete Carroll and Geno Smith. So that is very interesting as well. Both of them secretly revenge game. Because Geno was a Charger for a half second, and Pete Carroll coached in LA. So a little bit of a back and forth, not in the NFL, but in college.
Raiders being the only 2-0 team in that division after 2 weeks is poetry. That is,
it feels like that's what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%. Yes. The Colts handed the friggin' Broncos a loss on a do-over kick. Like, we've got a lot of weirdness going on. The Raiders are only 1-0 because of the worst coaching we've ever seen last week. We didn't even get to talk about that.
Yeah, that wasn't great either. A lot of weird things. And then on the Texans side, I'm not sure if you saw this, but their head coach, I believe, pronounced Joe Mixon dead. Everyone's wondering, Joe Mixon, he's due to come back in like 3 weeks. Will he come back? And then he says, we love Joe, but and we love everything he brought to our team. He used past tense talking about Joe Mixon. So I'm not sure if is there any sign of life with Joe Mixon? He's supposed to be the starting running back. Is it Nick Chubb's team now? Are they any good? We don't know who's good, who's bad. Chargers seem to be one of the best teams in football. They're about to get smoked by the Raiders. It's going to be an odd Monday night. I love the doubleheader Monday night games because there's usually one that's a dud, but then there's one that kind of blows our mind. because something weird happens. Are we thinking that's the Chargers game? It feels like it always happens with the Chargers.
That, and it almost always happens with the late night game because everyone watches the first one. They're like, nothing burger. Then we all go to bed. We wake up and something wild happened. But I think so because I will say, I don't know why the first game should be good. It just feels like it's going to not be. But these are two, like, they tried their best to give me two contending teams who both really want to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like sloppy football that's about to happen. For whatever reason, I feel like Baker doesn't play super well on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And then Texans were horrendous last week. It's got an over-under of 42, so they're not expecting much points. They're expecting it to be close, which I agree with. We could see a Kaimi Fairbairn 5 field goal game. I don't know. It's going to be an odd one.
I will say, I guess this is me talking myself back into it. 4 of my favorite coaches tonight currently in the NFL. So
sure.
I think we could, like in game 2, that was what I was thinking is like, I'm probably most excited to see Harbaugh versus Carroll again.
Yeah.
I think that's cool. And by the way, what a world we live in. We've come back together, old friend. No longer in San Francisco or Seattle.
That's true. That is a weird reconnection in the division. I didn't even think about that.
That's what I'm most excited about. Odd. Old man feuds.
True. Harbaugh is gonna be on one tonight. I can already feel it. He's gonna have a vintage Harbaugh game.
I think this has been a good year already for like, I don't think we give enough credit to how petty old men are. Everyone's reacting like Bill Belichick not wanting any Patriot person ever to visit the state of North Carolina is a big deal. Dude, old men hold grudges, dog. They don't got nothing else to hold on to.
The Bill Belichick shit is wild. There's didn't plan to talk about this. There's a lot happening there. I'm not sure how fully in the weeds you are, but he's trash talked Kraft's son, obviously.
Yeah.
Said he's not able to go back to New England, so none of the Patriot scouts are allowed in the state of North Carolina. Vrabel said that's not true. And then now Belichick's girlfriend has filed manager and lots of things. Yes, has filed trademarks for all of Bill Belichick's Patriots trademarks, essentially, but in a Taylor Swift way, because all of them afterwards have parentheses that say Bill's version. Like, do your job, Bill's version. They were declined, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's a weird, very petty, to your point, old man feud that doesn't really matter, but matters the most to them. Belichick doesn't care about next week's opponent, I feel like. He's watching, praying, hoping that Robert Kraft falls out of the press box. Something happens. Maybe Vrabel just crashes and burns. I don't know. I am assuming the Patriots are going to be very good, and then Josh McDaniels is going to stab the dagger, and Vrabel's back. They're going to say, "Oh no, we don't have a head coach," and then Bill Belichick's music's going to hit.
Yeah,
and he's going to come out of the tunnel.
Only flaw with the plan is I imagine Vrabel being totally unfazed by the dagger.
Correct. Yeah, the plan will not work, but
turns around like Undertaker hit with a chair.
For sure. You'd be like, "Oh, did you drop your knife? Here you go."
Yeah,
my bad.
But I just say that's what we're getting tonight. Like by the way, this is smart coaching. So if this is the case, nice job to either Harbaugh or Carroll. Wouldn't be surprised at all. We haven't heard any of this before the game. After the game's over, Carroll, whoever wins, that person comes out and goes, "I really wanted this one. My team knew it." You know, that's some old man shit. This is secretly what I've been thinking about for 5 years, is playing this guy again. But I didn't want to say it till we won.
I mean, it kind of feels like what we got out of Detroit in the Bears.
Correct.
Game.
Yes.
The Lions players hate Ben Johnson. They feel the most betrayed by Ben Johnson. I love that Detroit just kept the pedal, wanted to run up the score on them.
Had to make Ben Johnson answer questions about running up the score.
Yes, it was incredible. The Lions were dead, called the biggest buffoons. Their era's over, window's over, and then they put up over 50 points on the Bears. And we still don't have any answers to your point, but it was a very fun game.
Very fun. Anything else about tonight? Otherwise, we could jump into the week.
I think we just jump into the week. I don't think I'm excited to talk about what happens tonight next week. But I don't think there's anything we can talk about right now other than watch out for Geno. He's a wild card.
Here's what I'll say. We don't know. The last thing I will say is I'm most intrigued about the second game, because it's in division. I think that's the biggest implication. So
True.
I think that's good. I think in the first one, what I'm most interested about is like, I guess this is a good week for CJ Stroud to be like, do you got it? Like,
yeah,
let's go. Like, you should throw up for big numbers against Tampa. So we'll find out. But otherwise, to go to a game where they did put up big numbers, dude, the Detroit game, I was saying this to off show, so I'll repeat it here. Like, yes, Detroit absolutely whooped ass, and it was awesome. Basically entirely in the fourth quarter. So it's like they're here, up. But also, I mean, they were winning the whole time, but it was like, to your point, it did feel like in the fourth quarter, suddenly it got very personal.
Yes. They kind of snapped. It was just, they started standing over the opponent, just beating him. Like the ref tried to pull him off, pushed the ref away, kept going. That's what it felt like.
Is the scene to remember the Titans where the refs agreed to not be racist? They just run up the score on the other team.
Sure. I mean, yeah, basically. But yeah, Dan Campbell took it personally, and he did what he had to do. And Jared Goff too, showing a little bit of anger. I like that. I think and then Jameson Williams said, like, we don't even notice the difference with Ben Johnson. Goff.
That's the whole deal. All offseason, they're like, Cinderella's about to turn into a pumpkin again. Like, no. So
who's Ben Johnson? I've never heard of him.
Here's the one question everyone's been asking, so I'll give you a chance to answer it and see if it's a nothing burger like I think it is. What do you think Ben Johnson is thinking about Caleb Williams? Do you think he's looking across the way wistfully at Jared Goff?
I mean, so far, it's been like every game now, and this is the story. People are talking. It's that people are actually talking about it.
Yeah.
It feels like we're getting to a boiling point. Shout out Macho Man. And we're getting close to a Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams blow up on the sideline. It feels like that's what we're all waiting for. That's what we're all hoping for. Because everybody, if you're a football fan, like a diehard football fan, everybody hates Caleb Williams. He has no fans. And Bears fans hate Caleb Williams. I don't know who likes him. So we're all just hoping for Ben Johnson to just tear into him. But we'll see. I don't know.
Hey, someone's shit talking the Minnesota Twins. What kind of chats we got going, dude?
That's wild. I mean, fair enough.
Out of nowhere? Yeah, I mean, I agree. We are nothing burger. But talk about kicking a guy when he's down. I cried with everyone else this week when the Brewers quoted Bob Uecker in a post-game speech, and now I'm one of you, dude.
They just quoted him.
Well, he wrote, okay, we don't, it was very, very nice. If people haven't seen the clip, you should watch it. They made the playoffs. I guess Uecker wrote something to read to the team when they made the playoffs again. So
how long ago did that happen? How long ago did he write that?
Well, he passed away last spring. Okay. So it must have been right after they made the last one.
I didn't hear it, but did he write it as if it's like, we probably got flying cars now? I mean,
he didn't.
You probably lived to 200 years old at this point.
If anything, if I was a Brewers fan, I think like he played it smart because he like hit all the cliches that like their team always is. Because everyone's like, wow, how do you know that this team was going to be like this? But he's like,
because it's Wisconsin sports. We're all
when he was like,
always.
You didn't have all the stars, but you came together at the right time. You outscored the other teams and you pitched really smart. And I'm like, yeah, you never spend any money.
Yeah,
your pitching was good last year, and you by definition have to outscore other teams to be good at baseball. So like it is awesome though, but you could tell the emotion was there. And I, honorary Brewers fan now, co-sign it.
Okay. Yep, welcome.
Yeah,
I guess me too in a way.
Hey, dude, Derpy Entertainment, you miss me with
Derpy,
that one.
don't worry, Jake's just a Twins fan, not a Minnesota sports fan.
I was gonna say that's it. I have a bubble. And the Lynx, by the way, 1-0. But other than that,
they're the playoffs.
Yeah, 100%.
I did not know it was the postseason for
Get the
WNBA.
brooms out. We're coming through.
I thought the season was canceled when Caitlin Clark got hurt. Not true?
Nope. Still happening. But yeah, and it was on ESPN
Waste of
yesterday.
money.
If you're wondering what ESPN has to do during NFL games. But
Interesting.
yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
Good
Speaking of coaches who I think are waiting to blow up at somebody. Okay. And by the way, Derby, I
Okay.
appreciate the comments. I like it. I like the banner.
Same here.
How long before Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence are full blown?
We're treating everything like wrestling, and I love it. The clip of Trevor Lawrence, waving him off, saying something, it was almost definitely nothing, but everyone's like, Trevor Lawrence is already sick of him. And then the Jaguars put out the full Liam Cohen post-game speech where he looked like a buffoon to me. Looked like he in the
He's a
locker room, not
goofy guy.
exactly. He's it's not going to work. It's the same thing as Ben Johnson's coming in to try to act tough. Not going to work if you don't win right away. Like if you are a doofus who's not really a leader and you're fake, which both of these two people definitely are very fake, Liam Cohen especially, they're going to see through it. And if you don't have the positive vibes of winning, like you're going to be done. And then now you got fucking Mike McDaniel trying to explain how NFL games are won at post-game press conferences. We're about to approach Mike McDaniel's final game as head coach. How are we excited? How excited are you? He plays the Bills on a short week. They got a few extra games.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel's going to be fired next week. And he fully deserves that. Like there's so many bad coaches in the NFL right now. It's wild. But I'm excited for it.
I am excited for it. It's also like the natural progression of like.
And Derpy, you're correct. Trevor Lawrence sucks.
Trevor Lawrence sucks. I 100% agree. And like, I think the Jags know that. Like they brought in a dude who, he is after Lawrence. So if this doesn't work, they're going to be like, okay, the problem's Lawrence. Let's start over. I am curious. Quarterback whisperer Ben Johnson did not get brought in to do that. He got brought in to make Caleb Williams work.
Yep. Yep. And in the interview process, he had to have been very pro Caleb Williams to even get that job too.
Yeah. By the way, Luke's in the chat mentioning David Black because LeBron and David Black, very similar comparison. I think if you chat his name one more time, he might show up though. David's pretty starved for PR attention these days.
True. That is true. That is a very interesting comparison for me, just how I feel about Caleb Williams versus how I feel about LeBron James. Not comparing how they are as players, how they are in their respective sports.
Yeah.
But I view them as one and the same almost completely. So I do like that.
Yeah, I'll be curious because when we talk about this coaching stuff, McDaniel's a great one, and we're jumping over. We're going to give you our two big storylines in a second. But I think the narrative from week 2, I can't believe half of the league is going to make the playoffs. So, just under 14 of these teams are going to make the playoffs. And I think the number of teams who think they are dead is higher. There are some teams who are like, I'm dead, who are going to make the playoffs.
That's because they listened to me, and I declared everyone but like 4 teams before the season started as dead.
That's what I think. I think they're all Flurry sports fans. Pessimism is run wild.
You know what? No.
Just like Macho Man.
Realism.
Ultimate Warrior. Realism.
I mean it is what it is. Sorry.
Terrible wrestler slogan, but pretty good. Can you imagine? Hulk Hogan comes out there. Realism's running wild, brother.
If he says it, I'm on board. Hit the
Especially
music
now.
too. True. I mean, if Hulkster comes back, if someone wants to read a message from Hulkster to me from Beyond the Grave, I'll cry like every baseball fan did, apparently.
Yeah.
I'll do that for sure.
But it is because the Dolphins are like, we're dead. And that I get.
That's true.
I feel like the Chiefs, like everyone is saying the Chiefs are dead, so statistically not dead.
Well, this happened last year, and this happened the year before too. So I think Chiefs fans understand at least. Chiefs fans know they're not dead. Everybody else wants to declare them as dead.
Dead. Sorry, Jeffrey.
Browns dead is what it is.
But good news, Jeffrey, you've got a lot of options in that QB room. The future is there statistically.
It could be a very fun season to be a Cleveland Browns fan because you could like schedule like, hey, weeks 7 through 9, those are Shadur's weeks. I think we should start like pre-scheduling when each of these quarterbacks are going to get their debut.
You're probably going to get Jake Browning twice.
to play against.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. You got the Packers this week, and let me tell you, this is after the Packers have looked so good. It's a trap game.
Yeah.
This is the Quinshon Judkins 200-yard rushing game.
Yeah, this is. I want you to know how bad I feel about it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like going down the list of teams that feel good. I feel like week 1, even the teams that lost were like, we've got it, we're good. And like this week, the half of the teams that won are like, God, that was ugly. Like Cowboys fans are more distraught than they were after week 1.
That's true. Vikings played 3 horrible quarters of football in week 1, had a savior at the end, and then rolled into week 2 and just were bad again. And we're like, oh my God, I wish we had Sam Darnold on our team. They're ready to throw everything away, saying JJ McCarthy ruined a franchise.
Can't ruin something that's already awful, dude. You know, so is what it is. Derpy was right earlier. Vikings suck. But I will say, I can't believe the people who were like, obviously JJ McCarthy figured it out that fourth quarter. He must be there now.
I mean, there's 2 scenarios that would happen this week, because in the span of 1 week, JJ McCarthy would play his first 2 NFL games ever and have a child at the age of 22, I think. So it's like either he was about to play out of his fucking mind, or he was going to look exactly how he looked, which is unbelievably bad. And it was the latter. So, but now don't worry. He's out this week. He suddenly sprained an ankle. I think Kevin O'Connell took a chair to it. And now we get Carson Wentz. And do we think Carson Wentz will turn that around?
I don't know. Quarterback whisperer, so
he might. And what do you do if Carson Wentz does?
Nothing, dude. He's done. He is one of those quarterbacks you can't play out of being Carson Wentz. Ryan Fitzpatrick couldn't play. Doesn't matter how far back Ryan Fitzpatrick's helmet was looking when he threw a touchdown pass. He was cooked.
I don't know.
Ryan Fitzpatrick should have been the end of Tua.
Yes. I mean,
we had a moment.
Yes.
We had him surrounded.
I agree. I hate Tua. So I fully agree. But like Brock Purdy's out. Mac Jones is finally playing for Kyle Shanahan like Shanahan always wanted. If Mac Jones improves on this week's performance each week, Purdy may have the worst turf toe of all time and may never play again this season.
Big week for toes, by the way.
Hey, you're getting into my weekly headlines here.
Oh man, did we make the same joke? I can't wait to get to it to see what you called it, because I've got a layup.
Okay, we'll get to that. Let's really quick cruise through, because I think there's a lot of things happening in week 2. Let's check out what The Athletic learned from NFL week 2.
Shout out Derpy in the chat super quick. JJ McCarthy doesn't have a sign stealer in the NFL. It's tough out there when you don't have your resources, man. I also, before we go, because I want to make sure I get this guy's comment, we got a comment from the Sick Thief, who said, for fantasy, would you start Collins or McConkey for today's games?
McConkey.
He's the dude. He's the lad.
For sure. He is the lad. He's a lad. Everyone needs a good lad, and that is McConkey. So the first thing that the Athletic learned, Zach Kiefer in particular, he's a Colts guy. So I'm wondering if he learned anything from the Colts. So far, this is a terrible article. Okay. The Chiefs, these aren't the Chiefs we know. So I think he's really going for what everybody else is saying. And he learned officially in week 2 of the NFL season, these aren't the Chiefs we know, Jake. They lost by, I think, 1 score or just over 2 scores to the Eagles. I think a big headline from this game was that everyone's kind of a little pro Chiefs in this game. The Eagles are the only team to turn a fan base into pro Chiefs, and that's because of the tush push. The tush push, an unstoppable play. The Eagles are now starting early on the tush push, and now this is the game everyone's saying that will finally get the tush push outlawed officially. We had all off season, and then now week 2 of the NFL season, everyone's like, we made a mistake. So because of that one play and because of a Travis Kelce drop, people are saying the Chiefs are no longer the Chiefs we know. First time starting 0-2 in the Mahomes era. First time losing 3 games in a row in the Mahomes era. Everyone's talking about that. I will pitch in my 2 cents of saying one of those losses does not count against them because that was the Super Bowl of last year. So everyone's talking about them being 0-3. Not true. They're 0-2. And if the Raiders take care of business against the Chargers tonight, they're 1 game behind the Chargers and Broncos. And it does not matter, in my opinion.
What I need people to remember is like, okay, diagnose the Chiefs. What's wrong? Oh, they don't have any wide receiving targets right now. That problem will literally be fixed in 3 weeks. It'll be partially fixed next week. They think Worthy's going to be back in week 3. Like,
yeah.
Name
Rashee Rice
team.
is out till week 7.
Correct. Sorry. Yeah. That was for longer than I thought. But yes. So Worthy's going to be back hopefully by next week. That'll be a little bit better then. We've both said Tyreek Hill's going to be there by the end of October. Then they're going to have
Certainly
depth.
seeming that way.
Yeah. So, and listen, even if they don't do that, just do this experiment with any team that's looking good right now. Take their top 2 receiving threats away and see how. And it'd be different if they were going to be. They're coming back. They're going to be improved, and that improvement is baked into the plan. So I'm just not that worried about it. By the way, name a team that's played 2 better teams through 2 weeks.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what the Chargers are. I agree.
Yeah, true. Pete Carroll serves them a whooping tonight. It'll look bad.
Yeah, never know then. But yeah, so Xavier Worthy, torn labrum, not great. But he'll be able to play with it. Sounds like they probably assume that it just can't get damaged any worse at this point.
Yeah.
So is what it is. I think there's a real chance the Chiefs don't win their division. But does anybody think they're not going to make the playoffs? We just talked about half the league makes the playoffs. Are they in the top half of the league, essentially? And what's more dangerous? A Chiefs team that starts extremely hot and then gets to coast at the end of the year? Or a Chiefs team that turns it on midpoint, wins a shit ton of games with Rashee Rice back, gets hot, sneaks into the playoffs, and then now they don't have a bye week to lose all momentum, essentially? That's the team that scares me more, I think.
Yeah. Listen, they're not as deep. They used to have teams where it's like they can beat you in any way, and Mahomes was the best quarterback in the league. I don't know if that's true, but it's not even true through 2 weeks is that their defense is bad. That wasn't true in this game. So it's like there aren't – if you put a magnifying glass to this, I just don't think the cracks are that big.
They're not. And we notably do not panic on the Chiefs, and we notably have a 100% success rate. So take that for a grain of salt as well. Number 2. Okay, so this is something that the Athletic learned. Bengals win, now they wait. So I'm not sure what they learned from that. However, what we know is, I'll spin it up from what actually happened. Zach Kiefer, learn how to spell your name correctly and also learn how to write points that you learned, because that's not what happened here.
It's not a learning
Bengals finally started 2-0. That we've been begging for them to have a fast start, right? In perfect poetry, essentially. Bengals finally start 2-0, and then they lose Joe Burrow for essentially the entire year. So that's what it is. Out for a minimum of 3 months. So I think optimistic timeline would be just before Christmas he comes back. What a Christmas present. I can only assume their offensive line isn't going to get dramatically better by that point. So let's let Joe Burrow come back, be rusty, get smoked. So, I mean, while you talk about this, let me look to see potentially who he would come back against. Because I'm just going to assume it's TJ Watt or something, which does not seem like a great idea.
Yeah, the big learning point, I think, from this game is that I guess part of the strategy has finally worked, which is the difference between this and other Joe Burrow injuries in the past, like the big one in 2020. Or is it 2022? Anyway, you know what one I'm talking about. He was gone for a long time. Is they did the work of, they have, quote unquote, in their opinion, the best receiving core in football. So whether you think that is true or not, Browning's got a lot of guys to throw the ball up to. They looked okay the rest of the game. What I learned from it is that even with Joe Burrow out, the Jags can't step on anyone's jugular. Joe Burrow goes down halfway through the game. Vibes should be through the floor. And the Jags are like, oh, man. how are we going to screw this one up? So it's like I learned more about the Jags of like you have no shot. You have no killer instinct at all. I think the Bengals, I think they're well coached. I guess that was solidified for me. I think this is going to be a Zach Taylor stretch where maybe he proves or he will either solidify his reputation or be out of a job,
Sure.
depending on how this stretch goes. So I guess that's the takeaway is it magnifies what the rest of the team does. For Burrow, does this solidify that like I'm going to be worried about his health for the rest of his career?
Yeah, I mean everyone is making the lazy but probably accurate comparison to Andrew Luck. And for whatever it's worth, if handled the situation exactly the same, we've been begging for an offensive line ahead of Joe Burrow forever. And then we saw him get his fucking dick kicked in the preseason saying, oh, I can't wait to see when he's going to get hurt. And we didn't even make it 2 weeks and it happened. Looking at the schedule, we could potentially see Joe Burrow coming back against the Ravens. How fun would that be? Good for them. If he comes back against the Dolphins, Cardinals, Browns, that makes sense. But that stretch, if Jake Browning is the one leading them to wins after their bye with the Steelers, Patriots, Ravens, Bills, and then Ravens again, good on them. Good on them. And if they're in contention after that stretch with Jake Browning, I don't know. Like, I understand it's Joe Burrow, but I don't know why you would change things up either if they actually get wins there. That would be pretty impressive. So we'll see.
Yeah. Do you think they sign anybody for depth there? Is that a Mike White landing spot?
It sounds like they're looking for a veteran to bring in. I don't know who that would be.
Matt Ryan off the bench?
Matt Ryan, maybe a Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, fuck. As soon as I said Ryan, he came to me. Yeah, Tannehill. I think you're right. Yeah.
Maybe. If I'm them, they don't do this. What the Bengals should do is notice, hey, we have a good football team and we're 2-0 finally. We should trade for somebody and then go trade for like a Jameis Winston or a fucking Russell Wilson. Like that's what you should do.
Yeah.
But they don't want to give up a 6th or 7th round draft pick because they're a draft and develop team like the Packers who desperately don't want to do that. A 7th round pick is worth more to the Packers than a 1st round pick. And it's the same thing as the Cincinnati Bengals. They just value wise, they don't do that. So should they trade a 7th rounder for Jameis, who is not even really on the depth chart for the Giants? Yeah, probably, but they're probably not going to do that. Should they trade for a Dylan Gabriel or a Joe Flacco if the Browns desperately want to just like see what they got in their youth at this point? Yes, but they will not do that. So
even like this is not what I want. I want to know where Tyler Huntley's playing. I was trying to look up a guy and I searched Ravens backup and Cooper Rush came up. Don't trade for Cooper Rush.
No. But yeah, they're going to bring somebody in. I assume they're going to stick with Jake Browning though. Next,
Will Levis?
McCarthy. No, he's out for the year. McCarthy can't replicate week 1 heroics. I guess that's what Zach Kiefer learned. And that's true. They lost. There's really nothing to take from that other than the Vikings were under pressure the entire time. Their offensive line was missing 2 starters, and then McCarthy panicked.
My take is you should feel about JJ McCarthy you felt after week 1. If you were really high, you were too high. I guess that's the only takeaway. But otherwise, it's literally a second game.
He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's not gonna win Rookie of the Year. Literally, A, because I think it's illegal. And B,
no, I think he can.
He can? Oh, I boycott that big time. You're not a rookie, dog.
I mean, imagine if Jordan Love won in his 4th year or something. He technically played before that, but
he feels like a rookie. Tucker Kraft feels like he's going to win it.
Maybe. Give it to him. Who's going to tell him no? I wouldn't tell him no. He's terrifying.
Yeah, he's really coming to his own element. He's pulling out swear words I don't usually have in my repertoire when I get mad.
Tucker Kraft is the most tight end I've seen in some time, and I'm all for it. Tight ends are psychos because they don't have a real position, and they're just trying to fit in. They're just trying to stand out, and he certainly does it. I like it. But yeah, McCarthy, I think JJ McCarthy is going to be a good quarterback. Do I think it's going to be this year? I don't know.
I can't wait.
I do think he'll develop
week by week to hear people. No one stock is going to go more up and down. If stock was an NFL player, we could buy and sell Sam Darnold every week and make a fortune because you just buy and sell the Vikings outcome. Because everyone now is like, don't you wish you had Sam Darnold? Last week he was a pariah.
True, that is true. And hey, they beat the Steelers. So what else? What else can you ask
Sam
for?
Darnold, notably.
Yep. Yes, it was all Darnold. Next, Campbell and the Lions make their statement. Again, this is something Zach Kiefer learned. I don't know what that means, but they did win, and it was 52-21. So let's read this paragraph or this section here and tell me one thing that Zach Kiefer learned, because there's no definitive statement about what they learned, just what happened. So again, Athletic, I love you. I think you do good work. Zach Kiefer, I like you other than the way you spell your name. I think it's dramatically bad. But that's not what this article is. So anything to say,
that's what
we've already, I guess, but it's not even that. We've already talked about this. Anything else to say about the Lions?
Nope.
And anything you learned about the Lions?
They still got the top end. I guess that's good to know.
Yeah. I think their defense is better.
Yeah.
Personally.
This game this is a good takeaway. This game made me feel better about the Packers than the Packers game did.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that. Cowboys Giants staged a thriller. This is what Zach Kiefer learned.
Can't wait to talk about this game. Zach, I'm going to completely ignore you, Zach Kiefer, because this is a nothing burger. You know, we're going. Wait, what's that quote he's got in the middle?
Shit, I don't want to know. Oh, what's the difference between 1-1 and 0-2? They asked Dak, and he said, "Shit, I don't want to know."
And then these are a couple great quotes. And then they said, "We're thankful for that guy," about Brandon Aubrey. That's good.
Yeah, no shit. He's good. Brandon Aubrey's a dog.
He's really good. I really thought we were setting up for, he just made, one of the longest, best kicks of all time. And then he was going to shank a 47-yarder, but that's not how that game concluded.
By the way, this is the last thing Zach Kiefer learned this week.
Oh, good. So we can dig into this because I just wanted to say this game was freaking bonkers, dude. This game was mental because the Cowboys are coming out of it and they're like, I guess we righted the ship. Did you? Or did the last 3 minutes of that game in overtime were a nightmare?
Well, I think the Cowboys should feel good about their offense.
I mean, yes, I guess. Yeah. But do the Giants feel good about their offense?
No, because Russell Wilson passed for 450 yards and Jackson Dart is closer to playing now because Russell Wilson threw that final interception. One of the worst interceptions I've ever seen in my life.
He did, by the way. I mean, all social awareness left him in overtime. It's like when we're playing college football on the PlayStation. It's like, dude, live for tomorrow a little bit. Game's not over. Take the tie.
No kidding. They would have, if the Giants tied this game, they would have thought they're winning the NFC East. It would have felt great.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And by the way, like the fact that they were even able to send it into overtime was crazy. He played a great game. He had the game everyone thought that JJ McCarthy had last week. He truly played a great. Russell
Wilson played an outstanding 4 quarters, but unfortunately this game had more than 4 quarters in it. There was extra time.
Yeah. They fully should have, and I believe this with my whole heart. You have to tag in Jameis for overtime.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Jameis was like, that's a bad interception. I wouldn't have feeling that.
Yeah. By the way, Jameis is feeling a little froggy lately. They're like interviewing afterwards, and he's like, I mean, I want to start.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't the Bengals trade for him? Someone should trade for Jameis.
Somebody.
The Saints should trade for Jameis.
By the way, who's the team that calls that gets Derek Carr to admit he was lying? That he does want to play football and he's not hurt. It's just that he didn't want to be in New Orleans.
I mean, I could see the Raiders doing it if something happens to Geno.
Oh, I'm fine. It's a miracle.
That happens a lot, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
well, anything else from this game?
I don't think so, but we have to decide on our 2 headlines for the week, Jake. I think we can go back and forth. So
nice.
The first one I wrote down is probably not the one that we go with, so I'll say that. But I just said Lions bounce back big and are the highest scorers of the weekend. I think that's a big thing that people are talking about after pronouncing them dead. saying their offense is no good. They put up over 50 points, which is insane. That rarely happens. So I think that is a big storyline. Do I think it's one of the biggest two? Probably not, but I do think it's notable.
I think that's good. My only thing with that is I had the same game for a potential one, but mine was that is Caleb Williams washed? Like that was one of my. I think
washed. You have to be good before you're washed.
I know, but it's just like for whatever reason, maybe the better way to word is this: like the Bears came in, they're like, "Are we going to contend in this division?" Big stamp. No, no, you are not. That's the.
And then the Bears media immediately does what the Bears media does, and it's going to get louder and louder, and they destroy their own team.
So
they
I guess
cannot do it.
Yeah, that juxtaposition of like, I feel like the heat's come off of the Lions and has increased for the Bears. So there's something there. My number one, Toe Burrow.
Toe Burrow. Pretty good. I mean, yeah, no matter what, the Joe Burrow injury has to be in here. I just wrote down turf toe because last year, 2 years ago, Achilles was the cool kid in class, right? This year, we got Brock Purdy, turf toe. Yeah. We got Joe Burrow, turf toe. I assume we're going to get more. For whatever reason, it comes in bunches. And right now, turf toe is the cool thing to have.
I can't wait for the study that comes out 5 years from now that's like this type of shoe they were all wearing. Like some dumb thing comes out. Yeah, it's all the Smuckers they're eating in the back room. It goes straight to their toes.
Mm-hmm.
Bigger than they used to.
Well, here's the thing. As someone who coaches offensive line, there's one very, very easy thing that you always do. You always have to do. And you'll even see middle school coaches. They'll just repeat it. Got to keep your feet moving. Keep them chopping.
Chop them feet.
Keep those babies chopping. If you do that, you're not going to get rolled up on. You're not gonna get a foot caught under you. Keep your feet chopping, Joe. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think this is like the first narrative we've seen that I'm like, this is for sure an impact on one team's entire outlook. So that was
forever.
Yeah, forever, probably. You want a snake draft or do you want to go back to you?
Well, I think we can already put that in as one of them.
That's one. Locked. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
So I'll just write at the moment, I'll just write turf toe just because I do think we're going to get more than just two.
Yeah.
Because I think more is coming. I'll do turf toe, parentheses, Joe's version. How about that?
It's very good. It's very good.
You. So another one I have, and I was so excited about this. So it's going to break my heart if it does not work or does not win. But this week was the epitome of low man wins.
Okay. Talk
everything.
Me through it.
I mean, what's the biggest penalty everyone's talking about from that Colts Broncos game? Leverage. And it all comes back to leverage, baby. The low man wins at all points in time. The low man won during the Joe Burrow thing. He was under him. Turf toe. Sorry about it. The low man won blocking the Broncos guy tried to snap that offensive lineman's neck. Tush push. They started early. Doesn't matter. Low man wins. The Steelers, Seahawks. Low man recovered that fumble in the end zone.
I was going to say that when he got under it.
Low man won in every scenario this week.
Low man won in Tennessee. Did you see that long snapper hustling for the ball?
I didn't, but was it like a Luke Reimer situation leading with his head or what?
Oh, by the way, yes. Like all good long snappers, he ran completely horizontal the whole time. Perfect. Just like you draw it up, long snapper, first man down the field, he threw the ball back in on the 1 yard line.
Really? That's a good special teams play. That's good hustle.
Yeah, and then they blew it, but not his fault. He stayed low.
Love that. Hey, potential. You know what? One things we're starting this week, teasing it right now. We're doing power rankings every week, but we got a wheel with different things we're ranking them on. One of the things I put on there, Jake, was the best long snapper from each team. So good. We already know our number one then.
By the way, Luke Reimer, a disgusting act by the Broncos going after a long snapper with his head down. I couldn't agree more.
Can't do it. You absolutely cannot do that. So that's mine is low man wins or leverage, whatever you want to call it. But that was the highlight, I think, of the weekend for me so far.
Okay, well, that is fun. That's more fun than my other ones. I'll do my fun one next, which got mentioned in yours, so I feel like it's been ate up. But one of my headlines, read the book, dude. Special teams wins games. You got to know the damn
Special
rules.
teams make special plays.
You got to know the rule. Sincerely, a storyline for me. We were so high on the Steelers and just almost completely undone by an idiot kick returner.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. Burn it down. Rodgers said not to overreact. So I think half the Steelers fan base is like, you know what? You're right. You're right. But the other fan base, part of the fan base is like, we are done. We might as well start putting in, where's Will Howard? We need to at least see what he's got.
Yeah. We're so well coached. By the way, I do like that Mike Tomlin's kryptonite being special teams would be funny to me. Like, you can't keep himself off the field, which Jacoby Jones is running one back. Never teaches the kids how to catch a ball.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point.
He's got Antonio Brown kicking punters in the face.
That was wild. Antonio Brown, he chased after that punter. He found him. He wasn't trying to avoid him.
It's, how many special team snafus happen before we find out that Mike Tomlin never practices special teams?
That would be wild. If he had a bad kicker, maybe I would. I mean, maybe Chris Boswell is just covering up a lot of hurt. Maybe Chris Boswell will tell his story one day once he leaves Pittsburgh. I don't know.
I think so. So that was one. My actual other nominee would be the Dolphins are doomed.
Yeah. I mean,
they had a players only meeting week 2.
I said that preseason, and they, you know what they said? We have players only meetings all the time. Yeah, no shit. We know. Fucking idiots. You guys suck. I've never been more correct on teams than I've been about the Bengals and the Dolphins the past several years. Pinpoint accuracy. These guys stink. So the one is covered under turf toe that I have, and that's the Joe Burrow still needs an offensive line. What year is it, essentially? Yeah. And then the other one I have is just, and again, covered under it, so we don't need to include it, was the quarterback injuries. We got Joe Burrow, Brock Purdy, Justin Fields, JJ McCarthy. We got Jaden Daniels. We got a lot. We got a lot going on, and it's just piling up. It's not great stuff. But yeah, in my opinion, we got to go with turf toe. That's number one. Number two, I think Low Man wins. I think, I mean, we could probably put that every week, but which would be a funny bit. But I think this week especially, it is what it is.
That is good. By the way, I'm looking through my notes to see if I missed any. I did just write down its own separate line. JJ McCarthy sucks, all capital letters. So I did want to throw that out as a possible takeaway.
Big week for you. Yeah, for sure. You
vindicated.
How do you feel about his baby being named, what is it, Rome? Do you hate the baby too?
It wasn't built in a day. That's what I'll say. You
know what? That's very true. I'm surprised no one's said that yet.
Rome McCarthy sounds good. My actual last nominee, and you're going to hate this, so we can pick Low Man wins because it's better.
Okay.
The Packers are the best team in the NFL.
They've looked like it. Again, the Packers absolutely dominated the Commanders in a game. The Commanders did not try to move the football or do anything on offense. And it was a 1-score game. So it just feels weird. Yeah. I understand. Eye test, Packers got it. Using your brain whatsoever, not a good game by the Packers.
Let's do turf toe. Let's do turf toe and Low Man wins. But I will say, if I was going to make a pitch, I would actually pitch it as, I think we know who the best team in each conference is. That would be the actual
Packers
pitch.
Bills.
Yeah, because the Bills also handled shit and just didn't. 2 games where it's like the whole time it was like, oh, those teams are really good.
So early prediction: do the Bills continue to just stomp their opponents because they have the Bengals or they have the Dolphins on a short week? So either they're going to stomp the Dolphins, or they're going to play so badly that we have questions all around.
I'll believe it when I see it, dude. I don't know if the Bills are going to lose some games they shouldn't, but like are the Dolphins going to be competitive? Like I have more doubts that is possible right now than anything else. But don't get me wrong. If I looked at the Bills schedule right now, let me tell you when it's going to happen. Let me tell you which game is about to jump out at them.
Do you want me to bring it up quick?
Yeah, it's Saints. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Spencer Rattler's going to carve them up.
Yeah.
That or it's going to be a Vrabel thing.
Actual pick, it's Vrabel. Yeah, 100%. It's Vrabel the week after. They come off of the Dolphins and the very bad Saints, and then run into a buzzsaw.
Yeah, probably.
That buzzsaw
Okay,
named Vrabel.
I think
Let's
is
do it,
time
dude. The
for
wheel.
the final. First, Bengals, yes, signing another quarterback, Randy, and those Pack fans must be happy. Insatiable. They are. You cannot stop them at this moment. Let's move to the wheel, the almighty wheel. So moving forward, if you have any suggestions to go on the wheel, definitely submit them in the comments, submit them during the live chat, write a letter to Hannah Bruner at Elk Mountain School District, whatever you have to do to get the message to us. Every week we're spinning a wheel. We are ranking the top 10 teams according to what this lands on. There's real football stuff. There's real cool stuff. There's real irrelevant stuff. There's real important stuff. So this week we got a bunch of options, I think around 16, and let's spin it to see what we are ranking the top 10 teams on. And it looks like we are ranking. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I don't even know what this is. Want to share a beer with. Okay.
Top 10. Okay. We have to be mutual on these.
Yes. We'll argue it. And if it comes down to it, we'll negotiate. If we have to trade, if we have to just completely rule a team out, whatever we got to do, we are ranking the top 10 teams based on wanting to share a beer with. Do we want to start at 1 or 10?
Well,
10 is hard to start with because it's not like
hard
last.
to start with because we're eliminating 22 teams.
True.
I think we should just throw out teams that we know are on there.
Sure. We'll just put them on the board and then we can sort them after that. That's a good idea.
Okay. Early contender, somewhere on the board, the Eagles.
100% my thought too. So they could be very competitive here.
Just for Lane Johnson, at the very least.
Whole offensive line. They notably like to pound some beers. I think the Lions are on there. Maybe it's a Dan Campbell bias, but I think they're on there.
No, 100%. Yep. That's a good one.
What about the Buccaneers?
I was about to say the Bucs. That's a great answer. I think, is that true? I think this is true. I think the Titans are a fun hang.
Titans are interesting. I'm down to negotiate them. I think they have some good guys. Rams with Puka, Stafford.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
And
what do we think about the Bills?
Who's their linebacker? Sorry,
the Bills?
The Rams.
Landman? Maybe?
No. Is Wagner not there anymore?
No, you always confuse this. He's with the Commanders.
God damn it. Wait, no. Sorry, wrong position. Jalen Ramsey's there.
No, he's with the Steelers.
God
who I think is a good team to share.
Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams is with the Rams. Yes. Devontae, Puka, Stafford.
Yeah, great.
Blake Corum.
Okay. If we pick the Raiders, do I get to drink with Pete Carroll?
I think so. Yeah, I think coaches have come to hang.
I think they need to be on the list between that and
I think
Max Crosby.
Crosby's good. Geno's
Steelers
great.
for sure. Steelers for sure. The whole defense.
Yes. And I mean Rodgers. You kidding me?
Yeah. Giants?
Giants are very interesting.
Because obviously you get a beer with Jameis.
Dayball.
Dayball's a great hang. Do we have to invite their GM? Because that eliminates them.
I think he's invited, but promptly kicked.
We tell him the wrong bar.
True. I think Jackson Dart could be interesting.
Oh, for sure. I want a beer with Brian Burns.
Brian Burns is good. Dexter Lawrence, Sexy Dexy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Okay. Anyone else on the list screaming at us?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8. So we for sure need at least 2 more. I think Browns are incredibly interesting. However, if you mix alcohol with several of their players, it could get problematic.
I mean, yeah, very much so. Very fast.
I
think Washington's fun.
I think Washington can be fun.
A beer with Dan Quinn.
Quinn, great. Cliff Kingsbury, terrible. So
I think he'd surprise you at a bar.
No. Cliff Kingsbury hasn't surprised me a day in his life. I don't think so.
I don't want to
what about-
overthink this, but the Chiefs are probably good.
Oh, yeah. Chiefs are good. I think Ravens are good.
I almost said the
They got-
Ravens earlier. I think that's good.
They got a lot
That's
of
11, right?
I think so. Is there any quickly, Bengals I think is no.
No.
Patriots I think at the moment is no, even though Vrabel does a lot of heavy lifting there.
Yeah. Still a bit of killjoys. Saints are too sad.
Yeah, Saints no. Niners I think no.
It'd be interesting just
George
for
Kittle's great.
Kittle. Yeah. But I
Right.
still think no compared to the ones we got.
Yeah, because even like Nick Bosa, he's a psycho. He's one of the most uninteresting people of all time.
Yeah.
So
Cardinals might be the most boring team in the league. Like if you look at
Yeah.
their personalities, like I think some of those guys are social sponges, dude. Soak it all up.
true, very true.
Try talking to Marvin Harrison Jr.
I don't think you can. I think it's part of the issue. Same with Kyler. Falcons aren't really interesting to
Can't
me.
take the risk that Kirk shows up.
True, very true. Bills,
There's some people
think-
who are fun to talk to, but
I think their offensive line's solid. I don't think anybody else is.
everyone's offensive line does a lot of heavy lifting for this.
True. I mean, that's why Broncos, I think, is in there because of Quinn Miners. But
Yeah.
other than him, I don't know who.
I almost said Panthers because then you get Xavier Legette.
True. Xavier Legette would be great. He'd be outstanding.
Really, really good. But
Yeah.
here's the hard part: don't know enough of them. Don't like go to
No.
a place where I don't know too many people, and that's the entire Panthers roster.
That is very true. Bears, I think, is a no. Browns, we've already talked about how problematic it could be. Cowboys, again, their offensive line is solid, but really not much else there,
No.
in my opinion. Broncos, we just talked about. Packers, a lot of lame people on the Packers. To be honest.
We've got
I
better
think Tucker
answers.
Kraft is great.
Yeah, they
Tucker
feel like
Kraft
they're
is
ranked
outstanding.
16th to me.
Fair. Completely fair. Texans, no. Just no. They're not interesting. Colts, I mean, last night apparently Daniel Jones is out on the town drinking beers with Indianapolis people. So
I
interesting.
think the
there.
Colts kicker seems like he's a fun time.
Yeah.
The Colts are interesting to me. Who's the tight end they just drafted?
Tyler Warren would be outstanding as well. Colts,
Yeah.
we'll put Colts there. I think they're interesting.
Let's talk about him.
They're in the
Oh,
conversation.
Dude, John Taylor's got to know his way around a Brewski.
I don't know who you're talking about. Jonathan
Jonathan.
Taylor.
Sorry, friends don't ever call him John.
John Taylor. That changes his personality completely. I think. Just
Yeah.
shortening that. Jags, no. Chargers, no. Dolphins, absolutely not. Vikings, Jake can't be in the same room with JJ McCarthy or he
No,
starts.
there's no fun people on there. No one actually wants to talk. Okay, we're going to talk with Harrison Smith and Adam Thielen. What a fun time.
That's like Cliff or Chris Collinsworth's wet dream. He would love that.
I feel like that's when, like, I work at a university. It's like every year when we open up, the dean of students hosts like hey, happy start of the year. Let's all go to a winery together. That's going to drink with the, like, okay, cool. Who invited the parents?
Correct. Jets, not enough people we care about. Sauce is okay, but I feel like he's not even a beer guy.
Yeah.
And then
I almost said the Seahawks.
I don't know. Seahawks is
Zabel.
tough too. Zabel's great. Zabel is invited no matter which teams are invited.
And I want to drink with Sam Darnold just so I can ask him about those ghosts. Do you still see them? They still out
Yeah.
there, dude?
Yeah, after his fourth beer, he starts to get a little freaked out. His eyes start moving.
Yeah.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have to eliminate 2.
Titans are out.
Titans are out. Washington, I don't like Washington. I will say though, one thing that you may not know about Washington, that's where Von Miller is, which is very quiet. And that also is scary to me. I don't like that.
Yeah, let's get Washington out there because we've got heavy hitters up there after that.
Okay. Here we go. So now we are ranking the top 10 based on these. Any that immediately say while they're in the top 10, they're towards the bottom or vice versa.
Kansas City, I think
Towards
is
the bottom or top?
I think towards the bottom. Maybe I shouldn't have
Okay.
started with them. I don't think they're one of my top contenders.
Like talking through it, we both would love to share a beer with Leo Chanel.
Oh man, no, put him back in. I just remembered. Yeah, their defense is too fun. Their defense is way
great.
too
Chris
fun.
Jones is outstanding. Yeah, they got some guys.
By the way, did you see that they were interviewing Chanel about like back home and he was talking about Wisconsin like he lived on a fucking wildlife preserve? Like they're like, what'd you do?
Grantsburg kind of is a little bit.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but they were just like, you have pheasants by your house? I'm like, Jesus Christ, everybody. Like, let's open our horizons a little bit. The team we were the most like, is the Colts.
Fair. That's fair. That's they snuck in. Commendable to be top 10, but I think they are 10. That's fair. Okay, so I mean, who's the top candidate for each team? Eagles, I think, is their offensive line, notably Lane Johnson.
Yeah, or God, slipping my mind right now, but their center.
Is it Juergens? Otherwise, Mailata is great.
Yeah, their whole offensive line. I'm thinking the dude who wears overalls.
I know. Yeah. He's great. Lions.
Landon Dickerson. Sorry.
Landon Dickerson for sure.
Yeah.
Lions are like, it's for sure Dan Campbell. Who's the top player? They might be towards the bottom.
Yeah, I just think the fact it doesn't come to mind right away says a lot. Maybe
for me, it's Panay.
I mean, me too. It's Panay or it's I do think Hutchinson would be fun.
I don't know if he would be.
I could tell you what, here they're towards the bottom. Let me tell you why. Because I'm on Ross St. Brown's a fucking vibe killer.
Oh yeah, Luke's correct. You know what? He is such a vibe killer. I'm putting them at 10. And I think I'm moving the Colts up immediately. Dan Campbell does a lot of heavy lifting there. But like Brian Branch, I love.
Yeah.
I think
Colts just end up working their way all the way up the board.
That'd be great. Rams have a lot of heavy hitters as well. Bucks, I love Baker. Tristan Wirfs is great.
I think the Raiders are the next one we should look at because I agree that it's like, okay, Carroll is their top one, but he's coach.
Yep.
I mean Crosby, right?
Crosby's pretty good. Well, Crosby notably cannot drink anymore.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. But I feel like he'd have a lot of pointers.
He's okay being around it though, I think. So I think he'd be good there. Gino's strong, I think.
Gino's really good.
But yeah, I don't think they're super.
I think they're
high.
here.
That's fair.
I would put them under the Colts.
The Raiders?
I think we move the Colts up again.
Okay, you know what? We'll call this the Quentin Nelson effect. I think that's fair. Quentin Nelson.
I just haven't thought of a Colts player yet. I don't want to drink with.
I don't know if I want to drink with John Taylor, to be honest. Who I could only assume he starts calling himself once he gets drunk.
John.
That's his alter ego. He feels like he's gonna talk down to me. I don't want that. Personally.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's the next lowest? Maybe that's the way to do it.
Ravens.
Outside of Baker and Wirfs, I don't really know. Giants is Jameis, Dayball. I think they have some good. Brian Burns, you said. Dexter Lawrence, I think is extremely strong.
I think the entire Bucks receiver core is a blast. That's who I think is going to have the most fun.
I don't know.
You don't think
Mike Evans is fun?
I think Mike Evans buys everyone around. And
do we know anything? I don't think Egbuka has a personality. I think he's just football all the time. And Chris Godwin is fine.
Sterling Shepard's on that team.
Sterling Shepard is there. I can see Sterling Shepard being a great vibes guy.
I guess, was putting a lot of money on.
Oh, Tud Mouch is there.
Yeah.
Love Tud.
They're fun. They deserve to be here, but they might be next.
Tud can take his front teeth out. Love that. It's great.
So I haven't said this yet. And first off, Luke, John Taylor was at Wisconsin. They don't let you go there unless you drink a little bit. But two, for the Ravens, I have not used this yet because I know what it's immediately going to do to you, Zach. How do you feel about the tight end diabetes wonder being at our get together? Mark Andrews has got a cup.
I'm gonna stuff him with as much sugary beers as possible. See how fast he starts shaking. But there's other great ones. I hate Mark Andrews, but I mean, Lamar's outstanding. Derrick Henry's outstanding.
Yeah.
You got Kyle Van Noy, who's awesome. You got Madu Buike or whatever on the defensive line, who's great. Jair Alexander's there now. Kyle Hamilton. Their center, who I can't think of from Iowa at the moment. What's his name?
I got you.
I can't think of his name. But
Tyler Linderbaum.
Linderbaum. Fucking let's do fucking Jaeger bombs with Linderbaum. Like, how great would that be? That would be an outstanding time. So I think they are high for me.
Yeah.
I'll just.
Oh, is Roquan Smith still there?
Yes. Roquan's there.
Yeah.
Yes. They have a lot of great players.
They're up there. Okay, who are we putting here instead of the Bucks? Like, if it's not the Bucks, who is it? I think it might be the Buccaneers' time.
Probably Bucks. Giants feel a little lower, like compared to some of these other heavy hitters.
I think it's going to be Buccaneers then Giants.
Okay, I'm fine with that. So I don't know why. I really feel like the Rams could really make a run here.
By the way, if you're just joining us, we are ranking the top 10 teams we'd like to share a beer with. See, this is where rubber meets the road. So as we get to the top of this list, I guess I would say out of the ones remaining, I'm between the Ravens and the Chiefs. I think Steelers, Eagles, and Rams are kind of my top three.
Okay. That I think that's fair. Steelers are so interesting too.
Cam Hayward, like, I just want to drink with Cam Hayward.
I think I want to put Chiefs here. I just keep thinking about Chris Jones, but I think he is. I think that's probably fair.
He might be too fun.
He's gonna make it all about him. So are we thinking that?
I would do the Ravens next.
Okay.
I think I would flip them, and here's why I'd flip them. The coaches aren't close.
That's true. Andy Reid would be very fun. And I mean, Spags would be awesome for the Chiefs as well.
Yeah. So I think that's good. Oh, wait. He doesn't work there. Wink Martindale doesn't still work for Baltimore, does he?
No, he's in college now.
Because that'd be dumb.
Number one.
Yeah, 100%. I'm drinking with Wink.
But Chuck Pagano's here, though.
Yes. By the way, I totally disagree about Jalen Hurts being a vibe killer.
No, I agree. He is.
Amon-Ra, vibe killer. Jalen Hurts isn't going to be the life of the party.
He's better. I mean, he's better than Amon-Ra. Everyone hates Amon-Ra.
Yeah, I suppose that is a harsh comparison.
Yeah.
The Eagles O-line to me feels like it's crying out for that team to be number one. And
I think you would be surprised about the Rams O-line, though.
Oh, I know. I'm thinking about the Rams.
Rams are very high. Like, aside from their offensive line, which is great, Kobe Turner did he win the Masked Singer? Yeah, like, he can fucking belt. That's awesome.
It's so true.
Stafford might be the best on the list. Stafford's up there.
If Cooper Kupp was still on this team, they'd be number one with a bullet.
Devontae, though. Puka is outstanding.
Oh, wait. I did just think of something. Okay, I think we should decide based on the team's backup quarterbacks. And the Rams.
Stetson Bennett is fucking pounded beers, dude.
I know, but he also has to share with Jimmy G, dude.
Jimmy G is, I think he could be a good wingman if we're doing that. But like,
okay, that's a good pairing. I want to do this with our top three. Eagles backups are
Sam Howell, who brings chicken fingers everywhere he goes.
Yeah, that's a great one. And
Jake, you've already shared a beer with Will Howard, so tell us how that was for the Steelers.
Will Howard is not. I think I'm older than Will Howard.
I know. That's why you're at the bar. You bought him the beer.
He might have been a student for me, which is like a weird vibe. From what I've heard, dude, the Cats drink, man. I think he's a fun hang. Skylar Thompson, fun hang. Does he get to come?
Oh, I was thinking Skylar. Of course, you shared the beer with Skylar Thompson. Well, Howard may have been studying, but yeah, Skylar Thompson's for sure there. You kidding me?
Yeah. Only thing is, no ladies are going to talk to you if Skylar Thompson's there. That's my experience. But otherwise, fun hang.
I mean, same thing with Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is enough to make it the him number. I just realized I switched 2 and 3 for some reason, the numbers. So that's a
Chiefs
little
have
confusing.
Gardner. That is a great call.
He's not, I don't know. The Gardner thing for me has
I'll say
died.
we've been talking about O-lines. I'm scared if Creed Humphrey's there.
See, Creed Humphrey's outstanding. He's great.
Oh, he is. And then 3 drinks in, he tells you a secret you can never unhear.
Yeah.
Doesn't that feel right?
Yeah, that's probably right.
Haunted.
That's probably right. You know who else is there though? With the Chiefs, and again, it's coaching staff, but I can guarantee sharing a beer with Nagy would be outstanding.
Oh, that's good.
The amount of shit he would talk on Chicago would
I'm
be
having a
great to wear
hard
Wisconsin
time.
ears.
Why do I want to put? Okay, maybe the Chiefs should be higher. Which were these
Travis
teams?
I understand everyone talks about Travis Kelce, but we can't ignore how great he would be.
I know he's not. There's nothing about him dating Taylor Swift that would make him less fun. I've been thinking about that this whole time. Like they are higher. Okay.
People hate him because he's the most popular player in the league, which isn't close. Like he's out of every player, he's the most notable.
Okay. I did just think
love
of, do we do it this way? I do. Okay. Let's consider the Chiefs. Do we list the one guy from each team you don't want to have a beer with, and we try and sort them that way?
Maybe.
Because the Chiefs have a doozy. They have a doozy that I just thought of.
Who?
Harrison Butker.
I mean, you got to have somebody there.
That guy don't drink.
that you can hate on though. If everyone's great, is anybody great? You know, you got to have somebody that we can, as a group, come together.
Luke's opening up the Pandora's box of all time teams, which is a crazy thing. And by the way, the answer is the 03 Buccaneers.
03 Bucks is good. Can't do it. Can't be doing that. We gotta nail down this list. If we can't perfect the first power rankings, we may have to abandon it altogether.
Who's number one?
Gotta figure it out.
We're close enough. Which of these teams is one, and we'll figure it out from there.
Steelers.
I agree. Let's do it.
Have to be Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, Cam Hayward, TJ
There's no
Watt.
one on that team who's uninteresting to share a beer with. You made that distinction last week with Rodgers. Yeah. Jalen Ramsey, who I was searching for. That's where he is. Yeah. We landed on him.
Pat Freiermuth. He's great.
Oh, we could just all look at DK Metcalf the whole time. How fucking big he is.
Huge.
Probably fun. He seems like good vibes.
Scotty Miller's there.
I want to put the Eagles second.
Okay. I want to put the Rams second. So we have to figure out who we do not want there. But I think that means Chiefs are 4, right?
I think the Chiefs are 4. We've talked around it, but I think the Chiefs are 4.
Yeah. I think they have some outstanding strong ones. I think they have some weak ones.
So this is a weak defense for me. So I'm going to say this piece and I will let you decide what to do with it. I know the Eagles more. So I know more about the guys on the Eagles I wouldn't want to drink with, but I'm sure those guys are on the Rams. I just don't know their team as well. That's where I'm struggling. Is like,
let's bring up a depth chart. We gotta nail the top.
No, hold on. I know what we're doing. It's Rams too. I was like, what did you say earlier that really convinced me? Stetson Bennett. I will put
Stetson Bennett's outstanding here.
And we didn't talk about him enough. Matt Stafford is, I think, the dude. I think that's who
Sean McVay's fun too.
Yeah, more fun than Nick Sirianni.
We got Havenstein, outstanding. Steve Avila's good. Kobe Turner, like I said, he's gonna fucking belt. He's awesome.
I'm just like, is there any vibe killers there? But I just don't know. You know,
I don't think so. I don't think they have vibe killers on their team. I think, like, notably, that's like part of the culture.
If Aaron Donald was still here, this be a slam dunk case. But you've convinced me, because I will say there's enough guys I know about on the Eagles who don't ruin them for me, but it's like they're just a little more timid. I actually don't think Saquon's the most fun.
He's not. He doesn't have a personality. Remember, I mean, how do you feel about Sirianni? He's there.
I think he's fun to drink with. However, I mean,
think
listen.
So. I think so too.
100%. whatever you think of it, like if Mike Tomlin's fun, Nick Sirianni's, a fucking blast.
Here's the other thing. There's a lot of Georgia guys on the Eagles. And we talked about how the Browns, you mix some alcohol just for their own safety. We know they're getting behind a wheel. And I don't want that blood to be on my hands.
The last thing I will say, I did just remember, I just looked at the behind Saquon for the Eagles is an all-time beer team.
Oh.
Will Shipley, AJ Dillon, Tank Bigsby.
My hate for AJ Dillon knows no bounds. He cannot be there.
I want to be
He's not invited.
But I agree.
Sure.
Okay, I think we've landed on it. I think we feel good. Okay. The last thing I will throw out is I will entertain Eagles or Chiefs.
Okay. We're looking at the Eagles. Again, I cannot understate the fact that there's a lot of Georgia people and someone will be dying.
No, let's do it. There. I can't. I'm with you on I'm with you. And I feel good about that because the Chiefs cannot go any higher.
But Juju's here. Juju's bad.
Dude, Juju and Butker are vibe killers. Straight up vibe killers. I think we leave it. I think we've let fate decide enough.
Robert Tonyan, though.
I mean, they've got good dudes. They're in the top 4 of a very prestigious list.
That's true. This is
the Final Four. This is some NCAA. You've made it. It's like the Royal Rumble.
This is a big deal. So definitively the top 10 teams to share a beer with. Number 10, Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell brought them to the top 10. Amon-Ra kept them at 10. Number 9, we got the Raiders. We got Geno, Carroll, Max Crosby's there for support and is a great DD. You know that. 8, we got the Colts behind Danny Dimes. We got John Taylor, the alter ego there. We got Quentin Nelson. Got some defensive guys. Number 7, Baker, Tud Mach. We got Tristan Wirfs. We got some solid people there. The Giants are at 6 with Dayball, with Jameis, with Dexter Lawrence. 5, Jair, Lamar, Derrick Henry, Jaeger Bombs with Linderbaum. What?
Starting with Jair.
I love Jair.
I do too. It's just like, I don't know if he's the star of that lineup, but I like it.
Get some beers in him, and I can guarantee he will be.
Say flowers in a dream.
True. Number 4, how about this for the star of the show? Stetson Bennett's going to be a party. Stetson Bennett's at the Rams. Sorry. Gardner Minshew's there. We got Chris Jones. Travis Kelce. Andy Reid would be great. Yeah. Andy Reid's buying cheeseburgers for everybody. Eagles. We got Sirianni. We got the whole offensive line. We got many Georgia players driving fast. Love fast cars. Number 2, this is where we got Stetson Bennett.
You were so excited about Stetson Bennett. You said it 3 picks early.
I know. I am very excited about Stetson Bennett. Going beer for beer with Stetson Bennett and Matthew Stafford sounds like a great time. And then number 1, Aaron Rodgers is telling alien stories. We got Mike Tomlin giggling. Mike Tomlin's a giggler when he's drunk.
2K State boys hashing it out in the corner.
2K State boys. I mean, you know about that all too well, Jake.
Yeah, 3K State boys because I'm there too.
True, that's very true. Then Jalen Ramsey, Minka Fitzpatrick will find his way back. We got TJ Watt. We got Cam Hayward. We got Highsmith. We got what's the other Wisconsin guy there on the D line? We gotta do this right. Herbig.
Oh yeah.
Herbig's there, right? Oh, we got fucking Isaiah Loudermilk is there too, another Wisconsin boy. These guys are pounding beers. We got an all-star lineup for the Pittsburgh Steelers there. So definitively.
Oh, they got 10. Troy Fountain now.
Oh, he's great too.
Yeah.
Outstanding. And their center, West Virginia guy. We got Frazier. Zach Frazier. He's great too. Outstanding. Darnell Washington. Talking about big guys. Well, Darnell Washington, DK Metcalf standing next to each other.
Oh, Joey Porter Jr. is on this team. This is a great number 1.
Yes.
We could go the whole night and just hear Joey Porter Sr. stories.
True. That's a great point. Jabril Peppers found his way to this team now too. That's
Isn't it nice when people find their way?
Yes. And then we got a Bruner, Carson Bruner, great Washington linebacker. How about that? So Definitively top 10. You're watching this in the comments or on YouTube potentially. In the comments, let us know what your top 10 is. Do you disagree with somebody? And who's the one player you want to share with a beer with the most? Please let us know. Anything else before we get out of here?
No, I think we do. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. It's been a fun week, too. We're going to keep going strong. Soon it'll be baseball playoffs, and we'll have to shift our focus completely, I'm sure.
Completely. We'll stop NFL coverage completely and just make sure we detail everything that's going on in baseball. I can't wait for the Brewers to lose in the first or second round because money. Show me the money. Bet that preseason.
Crabs, dude.
Crabs. I'll crab walk from here all the way up to fucking your house, Jake. If I hit that completely, boom, got it.
Yeah. By the way, how about we close on that? Listen to Zach's betting advice because it's been very good. But for baseball, listen to mine, dog. I've been on a tear, except for one bet, which was for the Twins to win 80 games. An absolute shame. But otherwise,
should not have listened to you. That was hard. That was a heartbreaker. Are they even going to get close? Are they going to get to 70?
They murdered their team. They're leading the league. Their position players have pitched more than their listed bullpen guys have in the last 2 weeks.
Not fair.
They traded
an
entire bullpen. If you're a football fan, imagine the Dolphins are really bad. Imagine if they trade every wide receiver they had and then had to play the rest of the season. Oh, it would be.
I would love that for Tua.
Jared Aberderis would be out there catching balls, living the dream.
Abracadabra. I miss him so bad.
That kid from Whitewater we tried for a couple of years.
Kumaro. Yeah, Jake Kumaro was great.
You'll be back.
Absolutely. But yeah,
we'll
be
back
next week.
We'll be back next week. Yeah.
Submit your suggestions for the wheel, please.
Very
because
nice.
The wheel is about to take over. We were looking for a theme for season 11, Jake.
It's the wheel.
It's the wheel. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Bucks by 3.